Hey, how's it going? I've made several videos about card collecting, and all my videos and pretty much everything I do is just based around kind of the '80s cards and early '90s. Most of them are funny, kind of a joke, and people who know the card collecting business from the '80s and early '90s know where I'm talking about. I kind of jab at it a little bit, but I do it out of fun because obviously they're not worth a whole lot, and you find them for dirt cheap, and the actual prices are dirt cheap on most of them. But there are certain cards that are still collectible, and then there's complete sets that are worth, 10 bucks if you can get it. The reason I do this is it was very I'm 34 years old. I grew up in the 80s. I grew up, collecting cards, when there was the huge boom on it. A little bit of background on it. I lived in a town that was a population of less than 5,000, and there was 3 card shops actually in this town of less than 5,000. It was so small that our high school, middle school, and elementary school were all in the same building. So it was a small town, and there was 3 card shops. So I bought a ton of cards. I have a massive collection. I do sell some. I'm a member of PSA. I do get cards graded. Not so much cards from the 80s and 90s, but the newer ones and some of the older. Pretty much anything that you get pre 1980 is usually pretty good. But I still can't pass up buying these big collections. And the reason being is because there are some cards that you're going to find in there that they just don't know. I just sold a nice Ricky Henderson card that I did have graded, but it was in kind of one of these big hodgepodge collections that I bought. And it is a lot of time going through these. It's very time consuming. But if you find that one card, I guess getting back to what I just sold it online. I think it brought $676. I posted it on one of my blogs that I have. But you can find that one. Now you do have to get them graded. If you don't get them graded, they're really not worth much. But okay, I'll just get right into it. This is what I bought last night. Typically, when I buy them at auction, they usually come in a grocery sack or they're in a shoebox. This is the way they usually are. And I usually buy them. They're usually like $1, $2, whatever. Last night there was actually these boxes. So there was 2 of these large boxes like this, and I mean you can see that they're both completely full. So, and then they did have lids on them, so they had these. I don't know if these are Avon boxes or what, but the lids are Avon. There was 6 of these kind of boxes, and they're all full. So there's 6 of these, and they were marked, but just from going through a few of them, just kind of messing around, just pulling cards out, they're not correct. There was several shoe boxes like that. There was probably like 5 little boxes like this, and then the ones that I actually already started pulling out, which you can kind of see my piles over there. The only reason I even started pulling these out was because they were literally jammed and crammed all sideways, upside down, just crammed, and a lot of them were just completely roached. So I just started pulling those out just because they were in the worst condition. But they were just shoved in this Snickers box. There was a couple boxes that looked like that. When I bought this lot, I kind of got excited. I'll go on the other side of the table and show you that. But it says complete set 1988 Topps football. I do know I've sold a John Elway card out of that collection, and it brought decent money. It was a little over 50. It was graded, but I was thinking, hey, if I get that card ungraded in good condition, it's still worth 10 bucks. So I got excited when I saw that, but unfortunately the guy picked out every single good card out of there. But yeah, so I'll show you. So I bought this in 3 lots. So 3 different choice lots on these cards. I paid $1, $2. Sorry, I can't get this thing. I'm using my phone. My kids broke my GoPro that I usually use. So $1, $2, and then $6 was. Basically, it was choice out a couple times, and I paid $1, and then I paid $2, and then they sold the rest of them for $6. So I paid $9.63 for everything you see on the table. So there's the other two of those. This was the shoebox. Keep in mind this collector was pretty much all 80s and early 90s. So this box had what I guess he considered his better cards because they're in the hard cases. And, you know, I mean, there's, you know, Ozzie Smith, All-Star, Andre Dawson, Ryan Sandberg, Gary Sheffield. This was what he considered his good stuff. These actually, I pulled these right off the top. These were really cool. These were in '89, I believe, but they were the reprints. But they still look cool. But he put these all in hard cases. You know, and truthfully, I mean, these are, you can still get like $1 a piece out of these if they're in decent shape. They're neat looking cards. Oh, I just dropped that one. But they were in this box right on the top. Just all of this was the stuff shoved in that Snickers box that I was telling you about. And again, I mean, you know, I mean, like that card was in there. It's, you know, it's worth $1. Jeff Bagwell's rookie card, it's worth $1. Just stacks and stacks. But this was the one I was kind of, you know, like thinking, well, you know, there's probably a couple cards in there. But I knew right away, seeing that gap, and you can see that these are pretty roached. And he was trying to sell them for $5 for the whole box. He didn't get it. But that card was the one laying right on top, and I thought that was just, I don't know, I just thought it was funny. Because that card, in 1988, 89, everyone thought that was the one. But it's not. And he did take out, all the John Elways are gone, Eric Dickerson's gone, the Steve Young's gone, everything that was good is gone out of that box. So what I'm going to do is, this is part one. The next one I'll make is going to be basically me going through, I'll pick out, you know, maybe literally out of all of these cards, there's going to be maybe 5 to 10 that are going to be worth me sending to get graded. And who knows, maybe none, because I don't know, they might all be roach. Oh, this is just funny, I thought. And this is funny for me because I'm from Indiana. But this, he had several Jeff George cards in cases. Of course, anybody that follows football, and especially from Indiana, Jeff George kind of didn't live up to expectations. So, yeah, this is the whole card collection, $9.63. I'll go through them. I'll make another video if I find anything good. And I'm looking at maybe finding 5 to 10 cards out of all of these. But, you know, it might be worth it. You never know. Like I said, I found that Ricky Henderson, sold it online. So you just don't know. I appreciate you watching, and I'll get you part 2.